By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which stablecoin to use for every situation, and which one has been lying to you about what stable actually means. The third one I'm going to show you, it pays you 8% just for holding it, and almost nobody talks about it. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's break this down honestly. Right now, over $160 billion sits in stablecoins. These tokens are supposed to be worth exactly $1. Always. That's the whole point. You park your money there when crypto gets wild, move it across borders in seconds, earn yield in DeFi. Stablecoins settled over $10 trillion in 2023. That's roughly double what Visa processed. This isn't a niche crypto experiment anymore. This is infrastructure. But here's the uncomfortable question. What's actually backing that dollar? The European Union's MiCA regulation took effect in 2024. The United States has stablecoin legislation moving through Congress right now. Tether has already been delisted from European exchanges rather than comply. The regulatory window is closing. If you're holding the wrong stablecoin when it shuts, you want to understand the risk before that happens. Let's start with the one you're probably already using, Tether, USDT. It launched in 2014, and today it holds around $115 billion in market cap. It's on every exchange. It's the most traded token on Earth. For years, the company behind it told the world every single token was backed one-to-one by real US dollars. That turned out to be a lie. Their word, not mine. The New York Attorney General's office used that exact language in court filings. In 2019, investigators discovered that Bitfinex, the exchange run by the same parent company as Tether, had quietly lost $850 million through a shady payment processor. To cover the hole, they borrowed $700 million from Tether's reserves, your reserves. The dollars supposedly backing your stablecoins were patching someone else's losses. Tether settled for $18.5 million. Didn't admit wrongdoing. Then the CFTC came knocking and fined them another $41 million. Their finding? Tether was fully backed on only 27.6% of the days they examined. Let that sit for a second. When they finally disclosed their reserves in 2021, only 2.9% was actual cash. The rest was commercial paper, secured loans, other investments. They'd even hired an auditor back in 2017, a firm called Friedman LLP. That relationship ended by mutual agreement in January 2018, right before findings would have been published. Nobody ever saw a completed audit. Bloomberg ran the story like they discovered a shadow bank, because they basically had. Here's the part that should bother you. Tether takes your dollars, invests them in US Treasury bills, keeps all the yield. You get zero. In 2023, Tether reported $6.2 billion in profit with about 60 employees. Their CEO, Paolo Arduino, said it himself, "We are the most profitable company per employee in the world." That's roughly $100 million per person. BlackRock manages $10 trillion and has 21,000 people. Tether's business model is so simple, it's almost insulting, and they can freeze your wallet anytime they want. Over $800 million in USDT frozen across hundreds of addresses. Your stablecoin isn't fully yours. It never was. So if USDT is this sketchy, why does anyone use it? Because in Venezuela, where inflation hit 1,000,000% in 2018, a mother could walk into a corner shop running a peer-to-peer exchange on a phone, hand over crumpled Bolivar notes, and walk out with Tether on a screen. She'd rather trust an unaudited stablecoin than watch her children's savings evaporate by morning. That's the tension. The most controversial stablecoin on Earth is also a financial lifeline for millions of people. Use it for trading, use it for quick transfers, but holding it long-term as savings? You're handing your money to a company in the British Virgin Islands with no public office you can visit and no full audit you can read. Now here's where it gets interesting. USDC, USD Coin, built by Circle, co-founded with Coinbase. This was supposed to be the clean version. Monthly attestations from Grant Thornton. Reserves held in a BlackRock-managed money market fund. Full transparency. And that transparency almost killed it. March 10th, 2023. Silicon Valley Bank collapses. Second largest bank failure in American history. Circle had $3.3 billion of USDC reserves sitting in that bank, about 8% of everything backing the coin. When that news hit Friday evening, panic spread instantly. By Saturday morning, USDC was trading at 87 cents. 87 cents for a coin that's supposed to be $1. Always. Picture this. You wake up Saturday, you're sipping coffee. You open your phone, and the number that could never move is moving. Banks are closed. The government's off for the weekend. You're staring at your screen alone. One Reddit user wrote, "I have my entire emergency fund in USDC. I'm watching it lose $1,300 and I can't do anything." Jeremy Allaire, Circle CEO, spent the weekend tweeting reassurances. On Sunday, The government announced it would backstop all SVB depositors. Monday morning, USDC snapped back to $1, but the damage was permanent. Before SVB, USDC had 43 billion in circulation. Within months, it dropped below 25 billion. Meanwhile, Tether surged. Think about that. The safer, more transparent coin lost massive market share to the less transparent one because transparency revealed vulnerability. Opacity became a competitive advantage. That's a genuinely disturbing idea about how money works. If you're institutional, US-based, or need regulatory-grade compliance, USDC is still your strongest option. Circle's pursuing a banking charter. They've testified before Congress. But understand, your counterparty risk is Circle and whatever bank they use. And we just saw what happens when that bank fails on a Friday. If you're finding this useful, hit subscribe. I make videos like this every week. The best part is coming right now. Okay, remember how I said one of these pays you 8% and nobody talks about it? Here it is. DAI, launched in 2017 by a Danish entrepreneur named Rune Christensen, built around one idea. In his words, the goal was always to create money that doesn't require trust in a person, just trust in the rules. No company holds your dollars. No bank. Just code on Ethereum that anyone can read. You lock up crypto, say $150 worth of Ethereum, into a smart contract. You borrow 100 DAI against it. That extra $50 is the safety net. If your crypto drops too far, the system liquidates automatically. It's like insuring a car that might explode by making the owner put up 2 cars as collateral. Has it been tested? Oh, it's been tested. March 12th, 2020, Black Thursday, COVID panic. Ethereum dropped 43% in a single day. Imagine a 10-lane highway where 100,000 cars try to merge at once. Transactions that normally take 15 seconds sat pending for hours. Some liquidators exploited the congestion and bid literally $0 for collateral in auctions. $8.32 million worth of ETH. Auction for nothing. One vault owner lost 35 ETH, worth about $7,000 that day, worth over $100,000 a year later. Gone. The community held an emergency vote, minted new governance tokens, recapitalized the system in 48 hours. DAI survived. Then it survived the 2022 crash. It survived the Terra Luna collapse that vaporized $40 billion in 72 hours. 7 years, multiple 80 to 90% market crashes. The peg held every single time. Here's the part that changes everything. The DAI savings rate. You lock your DAI in Maker's official savings contract, and as of 2024, you earn up to 8% APY. No middleman taking your yield. No company investing your money and keeping the profits. The protocol generates revenue and passes it directly to you. Tether makes $6.2 billion off your deposits and gives you nothing. USDC does the same. DAI pays you. A stablecoin backed by volatile crypto, controlled by no single company, has held its dollar peg for 7 years through every crisis imaginable, and it pays you for holding it. The risky one might actually be the most honest one in the room. To be straight with you, DAI isn't perfect. Over half its collateral now comes from real-world assets like U.S. Treasuries, which means it's more centralized than purists want. Smart contract risk is real. Black Thursday proved that. It's the most complex of the three, but that complexity delivers something the other two simply can't. You're not trusting a company. You're trusting rules written in code that anyone on Earth can verify. So here's the honest breakdown. Use USDT for trading and quick transfers, but don't store your life there. Use USDC if you need institutional-grade compliance, but understand your bank counterparty risk. And if you want yield on your dollars without handing control to a private company, DAI with the savings rate is the one most people don't even know exists. The real advice? Don't put everything in one stablecoin. Both USDT and USDC have depegged in the last 2 years. Diversify your stability the same way you diversify anything else. Do it soon. Regulation is moving fast. The landscape a year from now might look nothing like today. Think about that mother in Venezuela walking out of a corner shop with Tether on her phone. Think about the person staring at their screen on a Saturday morning watching USDC fall to 87 cents. For the first time in history, money exists that no government can freeze and no company can steal. Whether that future belongs to DAI or something we haven't seen yet, understanding what backs your dollar is no longer optional. If this changed how you think about stablecoins, share it with someone who's got money sitting in the wrong one, and subscribe. Because next week, I'm breaking down something even the DeFi veterans are sleeping on.